from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there and a very good evening. This is the National News Broadcast, and on behalf of everyone here at the Rupavahini Corporation, we'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas. Bringing you the news bulletin for tonight, I'm Prashant De Silva.
A very good evening to you and Merry Christmas. I'm Sharifah Dahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The Christians world over celebrate Christmas in a grand manner. In his Christmas message, the President says that all should be united to identify the challenges and achieve their responsibility. The Health Ministry says there's very low risk held by the JN1 COVID subvariant. Tsunami warning new program will commence from tomorrow. A top-level organized crime gang leader killed. 1,004 prisoners were granted pardon for Christmas. Israel Prime Minister pledges to continue the war against Hamas until the end.
Now today is a marvelous Christmas day that celebrates the birth of the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ.
The Christians world over celebrate the birth of Christ today in a grand manner. It is the belief of the Christian devotees that Jesus Christ was born into this world to salvage the people from vice and servitude through the offering of love, compassion and benevolence. Jesus Christ delivered the message of peace and paternity to the world. The God expected to create a spiritual society in the world by sending his Son to redeem the people from the vice and evil. Christmas is a celebration that merges humanity with divine spirits. Christians and Catholics all over the world today decorate their homes with cribs and with other symbols of Christianity. The Holy Midnight Mass was consecrated by His Eminence Pope Francis at the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome last midnight. Over 6,500 devotees were present at this occasion. Issuing the Christmas message, the Pope said that the people in the world are engulfed in a futile war at present. The Pope stressed that the peace of the Prince has been disturbed by the war and violence in the globe. The Pope pointed out, however, the real meaning of Christmas is to spread peace, love and harmony throughout the globe. The biblical city of Bethlehem, where Jesus Christ was born in a cattle shed 2023 years ago, has cancelled the annual Christmas celebration this year due to Israel-Palestine war. All Christmas celebrations in the Bethlehem city have been reduced due to war. The Midnight Mass in Sri Lanka was consecrated by Colombo Archbishop His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit at the St. Francis Xavier Church at Halpe in Katana. Another Midnight Mass was served at the St. Joseph's Cathedral at Pamanagama last night. It was delivered by Right Reverend Father Sagar Hettiarachchi with the participation of a large number of devotees.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that all should unite to identify and win the real challenges posed in front of the country. Issuing a message of the Christmas festival, the President said that all members of the society should come forward to achieve their responsibilities and obligations. Christmas is the peace of hope. The Jesus Christ motto was to have a meal with poor people. The meaning of Christmas is to follow this advice of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ sacrificed his own life over the cross to salvage the entire human community from the vice. The Christmas festival that celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ should be celebrated with donation and benevolence. The President also pointed out in his Christmas message that people should forget about the hatred and anger and pardon towards fellow members of the society. Issuing a Christmas message, the Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that this Christmas should be considered as a new beginning to create a prosperous Sri Lanka by eliminating hatred and violence. Real meaning of Christmas is to uphold human dignity, love, compassion and fellow feelings. Opposition leader says that the real meaning of Christmas is to spread peace and harmony in the motherland. Jesus Christ has dedicated his life to spreading love and fraternity and to help the helpless people.
In the meantime, many religious observances and celebrations were held in many areas in the island to mark the dawn of Christmas. A special service was consecrated at the St. Anthony's Cathedral in Kochikade in Colombo last night. A large number of devotees living in the estate areas in Hatton were present at the midnight mass held at the Holy Cross Church in Hatton last night. A large number of devotees were present at the Christmas Mass held at the Calvary Church in Dematukoda. A large number of people were present at the Colombo Golf Ace Green last night to celebrate the dawn of Christmas. A musical show was held to mark Christmas at the Mariakadi Junction in Colombo. The midnight mass at St. Mary's Church in Puttalam was served by Right Reverend Father Dilanka Nirmavan. The main Christmas Mass of Badulla district was held at the St. Mary's Church in Badulla under the patronage of Badulla Bishop Right Reverend Jude Nishanta. A Christmas celebration was held at the Unawatana coastal belt at the dawn of Christmas today. A large number of foreigners were present. Heavy security program was arranged at all churches in the island in line with Christmas celebrations. A Christmas celebration and carols were held at the St. Anne's College in Kurunagala. Bishop of Kurunagala, His Eminence Harold Anthony, graced this occasion as the chief guest.
Christmas celebrations were held throughout the world this year, and even amidst global economic and political crises and Israel-Hamas war. Christmas celebrations were held in New York in grand manner. New York City was illuminated with Christmas decorations and lights. The Santa Claus performing concert that was organized by Wagner family for over 20 years in Phoenix City in Arizona was held this year as well. Toronto City in Canada was also illuminated by Christmas lights and decorations. Another special Christmas celebration was held in Berlin, in Germany. Many Christmas celebrations were held in Moscow, in Russia, despite the heavy winter climate. Many locals and foreigners gathered to Moscow to view the celebrations. Many cities in Switzerland also celebrated Christmas this year. Celebrations were held in Geneva, Bern and Zurich with many visitors. Christmas celebrations were held in Lisbon in Portugal as well. Many parks in Lisbon were illuminated with colorful lights. The capital of Spain, Madrid city, was also decorated and illuminated to mark Christmas. A colorful Christmas trees have been erected in the city of Athens in Greece.
A new program to inform the public regarding a possible tsunami catastrophe will be launched tomorrow. It will be implemented covering 14 tsunami-prone districts in the island. Director General of Disaster Management Centre, retired Major General Sudhanta Rana Singh, said that this program will be carried out with the help of all telecommunication services companies. Under this program, over 50,000 telephones will be connected. It is expected to spread over 100,000 telephones. Tsunami disaster, which occurred in 2004, completes 19 years tomorrow. The major event to mark this incident will be held at Peraliya in Hikkadua tomorrow. Retired Major General Sudhanta Rana Singh said that the 19th year of tsunami disaster will be commemorated tomorrow at Peraliya in Hikkadua. The general public will be enlightened in this regard, and no one can predict any future circumstances regarding this disaster. Therefore, all the people living close to sea areas around the island should be vigilant and prepared to face any such disaster in the future.
The Health Ministry says there's a very low risk to Sri Lanka by the new subvariant of COVID-19, JN1. Issuing a communique to the Health Ministry stresses that there is very minimum risk if spreading a pandemic situation in the country due to this virus. The World Health Organization had stated that special attention should be focused on the J1 subvariant of COVID-19 virus and its spread. However, the WHO says that there's a very low risk of causing threat to humans by this variant. However, with the winter climate in the northern hemisphere, this subvariant of virus may cause spread of respiratory diseases, including influenza. This JN1 virus has been identified from a number of countries, including India, China, UK and USA. Considering the global situation, with the advice of Southeast Asian Regional Office of the WHO, surveillance of respiratory diseases in 19 major hospitals in Sri Lanka has been strengthened. The National Medical Research Institute has already been instructed to conduct genetical tests to evaluate the possible threat of spreading the virus in Sri Lanka. According to research conducted by the past few months, not a single COVID-19 case has been identified in the country. The Health Ministry says, therefore, that there is a very low risk of spreading this subvariant in Sri Lanka up to a pandemic level. However, people should maintain primary healthcare measures such as wearing face masks at public places, maintaining a distance between individuals, following health measures while coughing and sneezing, and other healthcare policies. However, there is a risk of health for people over 60 years, patients with chronic diseases, pregnant mothers and patients of respiratory diseases should take special care over this virus. Sripada pilgrimage will begin from the Unduwa full moon Poya day that falls tomorrow.
The procession that procession that carried the sacred relics and God Saman statue started to reach the Adams Peak from Galpottavala Rajamaha Temple in Palmadulla this morning. The Perahara will reach the Sripada temple from 4 routes. The traditional rituals of the Perahara were conducted at the Galpottavala Rajamahaviharaya by the chief incumbent, Venerable Bengamwe Dhammadinna Nayakathera. The Perahara with sacred relics and the divine statue will reach Sripada at midnight today. We'll be back with more local stories after a break.
Prima Kottumi, Pantamai.
வெறுப்பை களைந்து அன்பை பரப்பிய அமைதியின் இளவரசரின் பிறப்பை கொண்டாடும் நத்தார் பண்டிகையே இது. உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் மகிழ்ச்சி நிரம்பிய இனிய நத்தார் வாழ்த்துக்கள். மக்கள் வங்கி, தேசத்தின் பெருமை.
Wishing you a joyful Christmas from Prima.
வெறுப்பை களைந்து அன்பை பரப்பிய அமைதியின் இளவரசரின் பிறப்பை கொண்டாடும் நத்தார் பண்டிகையே இது. உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் மகிழ்ச்சி நிரம்பிய இனிய நத்தார் வாழ்த்துக்கள். மக்கள் வங்கி, தேசத்தின் பெருமை.
Welcome back, and we move on to more local stories. Paduka police says that bodies of 2 members of a crime gang were found at Tunnan area in Paduka this morning.
Now they have been identified and shot dead, and their bodies were dumped at an auction land in the area. The dead were identified as organized crime gang leader member KD Roshan Indika, alias Man Roshan and Supun Imesh. According to police, someone has called them to arrive in this area and they were shot dead at early dawn today. The police suspects the 2 members were shot dead while they were inside a cab. One body was found within the cab and the other body was dumped on the ground nearby. The shooting was carried out by a T-56 weapon. Police have found about 18 bullets in the crime area. Paduka police say that these killings are a result of disputes between 2 crime gangs regarding smuggling of drugs. One victim, Manna Roshan, is a resident of Niripola area in Hanwella. He is a father of 2 children. The other victim was a king coconut vendor in Kaluwagalla area. 30-year-old, this suspect is a father of 1 child. According to police, victim Manna Roshan was released from prison several days ago. Paduka police and Nugegoda crime branch officials are conducting further investigations.
Officials of the Ampara police headquarters were able to raid the maximum amount of drugs in Ampara area today. Under this operation, 2 suspects were arrested with 91 milligrams of ice and 48 milligrams of cannabis with their possession. Ampara police headquarters said that the main drug dealer in Ampara area is among the arrested suspects. The main suspect is said to be living in Ampara area in a rented room. He was imprisoned earlier under the charges of smuggling drugs. In another raid conducted in Kandy and suburban areas, 43 suspects were taken into custody by the Kandy police headquarters. The police say that there are leading drug dealers among these suspects. 74-year-old Justice of Peace and another suspects were taken into custody while producing illegal liquor in a 2-story building at Kohilavatta in Vellampitiya. The Police Crime Division of the Western Province said that 25.5 litres of spirits and 756 litres of molasses were found by the police. Police has also taken 660 milligrams of hash from 2 suspects in Kalupahan in Haldumulla area. The suspect was said to be arrived in Kalupahan area in Colombo. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thaldua said that the operation Justice will be continued against crime gangs and smugglers of narcotics in the coming days as well.
The new library, music room and teachers' restroom constructed at the Dahamasevana International Education Centre in Mattagoda was declared open today. A bus was also donated to that school at this occasion. The ceremony was held under the guidance of Dr. Venerable Suduham Pola Vimalaras Thero. The bus was donated by the head IRO organization in Japan and the chief of the International Education Center, Dr. Nori Akisuga. Parliamentarian Gamini Lokuge and a large number of Japanese businessmen and guests were also present at this occasion. About 600 students from grade 1 to grade 13 conduct their studies there at this education center. They all will have free transport services by this bus. A special awards were presented to Dr. Nori Akisuga at this event.
We now move on to some local news in brief. Income of the expressways in the country has increased by about 40% during the 22nd and 23rd of this month. Over 300,000 vehicles have used the expressways during the 2 days, giving an income of 100 million rupees. One 1,004 prisoners were released today in line with the Christmas Day. Inmates of all prisons in the island are included for this common pardon. A mobile health clinic was held recently at the Madanwala Rajamahavihara premises in Hangurankatha. The Health Ministry has organized this clinic under a series of health clinic titled Suveyata Arunaka. This is the 48th mobile health clinic organized this year. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Sunrise and trees bring the taste of Christmas to your home with Prima family. We're wishing you a joyful Christmas from Prima. Wishing you a joyful Christmas from Prima.
Welcome back, and we move on to news overseas now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Gaza war has come at a very heavy price for his side. The military says more than a dozen soldiers have been killed in the territory since Friday, bringing the total of the ground assault to 154. Remarking on the latest Israeli troop deaths, Netanyahu said that his forces would continue with full force until the end, reiterating his goals of eliminating Hamas and ensuring the safe return of hostages held in Gaza. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says an Israeli airstrike killed at least 70 people in the Al-Maghazi refugee camp in the center of the strip. More than 20,000 people have been killed, mostly women and children, and 54,000 injured in Gaza since 7th October.
A man in his 20s has died and another man has been seriously injured after a shooting in Dublin restaurant. The attack happened in Brown Steakhouse in Main Street in Blanchardstown. The two men were taken to James Connolly Memorial Hospital, where the man in his 20s was pronounced dead. It has not yet been confirmed whether or not he was shot. The second man, in his 40s, is receiving treatment for gunshot wounds and is in a serious condition. The scene has been preserved for technical examinations and the services of the Office of the State Pathologist have been requested.
Wishing you a joyful Christmas from Prima.
Sri Lanka Army won the men's championship of the Super League volleyball tournament.
The women's championship was won by Sri Lanka Air Force team. The tournament was organised by Sri Lanka Volleyball Association and was held at the Youth Services Council Indoor Stadium. Sri Lanka Army team and Electricity Board team have qualified for the men's finals. The Army won the trophy in 4-1 rounds. Air Force and Army teams have qualified for the women's finals and the Air Force team won the trophy as 3-0. The third place of the men's division was secured by the Ports Authority team and the Hyderabad team won the third place in the women's division. JWP Tushari of Sri Lanka Air Force was honoured as the best female player of the tournament, while Sajid Kelumratne of the Sri Lanka Army was honoured as the best male player.
Wishing you a joyful Christmas from Prima.
And that concludes your news bulletin for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow as well with the very latest, together with Sharifa and Prashant. Good night.
Good night.